Hey guys, it's Laura and I'm here today because I want to talk to you a little bit about emotions and how essential oils work. So something that I like to think of as we're moving through this is that our emotions are very complex. It's not just, oh, I feel this, so I'm going to do this. It's more working through and healing yourself. And so if there's a feeling that comes up for you regularly, recognize that. And that gives you an opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into why that's there and what is the actual core root issue in relation to that feeling. So I like to say that essential emotions are kind of like an onion, right? There's so many layers, and you need to kind of to get in into what's going on, really deep rooted issues. You have to actually peel those layers back as you're ready to. So as you're ready to work through an emotion, you're going to peel back that layer of that onion and then work through that and let that pain and that healing and everything come in, and then you can work to the next level and then to the next level. And you may have to do this multiple times because things that you may think are healed may not really be, and so you need to go back to what layer are you on and how can you work yourself through that. So just keeping that in mind, that give yourself that grace, that you're perfectly imperfect as you're working through this. You're trying to love yourself, trying to learn to love yourself again, and giving yourself that time to really work through what's going on. So for me, I'd like to say, like, rage was a feeling I felt a lot. So I was always angry for simple things. Simple things would make me so angry. So I had to use oils to work and help me be less full of anger. But not until I really worked on forgiveness and grace and being kind to myself did I realize how powerful that will be for keeping me from continually having this rage all day long. So yes, I feel a lot of tension throughout the day. But when it would become a problem is it was actually affecting how I function, because that rage would build up and I couldn't focus on anything else. So of course it was a problem. But getting deeper into what was inside that onion, it was really where the goodness is. That's where you can really get the healing. On the outside, just dealing with the emotions, even using essential oils is awesome. It's a great tool, but it's still kind of almost like that Band-Aid. You want to use that as your tool to kind of what is the root issue. We need to solve those root issues if we want to really have more wellness. Now, the other thing about using essential oils for emotions, that may sound like craziness if you are anybody that is really into the science of how even essential oils are even used in the body. And that was me. I absolutely understood the science of the essential oils when I saw them, and when I really read a lot of the research about it, it made a lot of sense. But then when you threw in the emotion part about it, I thought that was complete, like, just garbage. But the truth is that there is a lot of science in it. It's basically, it's not just kind of, it's not nothing. It's actually neuroscience. So it's actually using our neurons, using our body to actually help it emotionally. And so it starts all with breathing it in. Whether you have the sense of smell or not, breathing something in affects the, right here is basically your olfactory nerve inside your brain, and that affects your limbic system, which is in the front part of your brain. And that front part of our brain is where we house emotions, memories. It's our conscious and subconscious thoughts. All of that goes on in this part of our brain. And so the fact that emotions can be so quickly triggered by smell is a great benefit to us as we're going through emotional healing. So the thing that you want to understand is that a lot of times our emotions may be like, when we react to something, it may be a conscious or unconscious because of something that's linked in our past. But if we can kind of unlock it and heal through those layers, but also bring us back to a feeling of comfort and safeness, then that can be super powerful. I don't want to go too deep, but just know that we want to preserve ourselves. We want to keep ourselves safe. And so sometimes when we're coming up with things, our body's saying, stop, you're not strong enough to grow and heal through this, so stop. And you'll feel that. And that's an opportunity for you to realize that this is a chance for healing when you're ready to consciously move forward. And we can use essential oils to trick that limbic system into thinking you're safe as you're working through those emotions. So finding oils, any floral oil is going to bring that comfort. You know, lavender is a great one because it's an automatic, but you can use pretty much anything to just florally to help you to feel safe and secure and comforted. Console is a great one as you're working through it. Peace is a great blend that you can use to help feel safe as you push past your barriers to where you haven't been before, to have a result that you haven't had yet. So this is why it's really important. But you need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and think of using emotional essential oils essential oils emotionally as a tool to get you there. Now, the limbic system, like I said, it's all this front part, and we can bring up memories, we can bring up traumas, we can bring back great memories. It's really, really powerful. There's a lot of research out there. If you want to know some more information about it, just let me know, because I can send you stuff. I just don't want to talk too much about it on this video because not everybody cares. They might just be like, yeah, I already know it's great for emotions. I've already used it. I've already seen the benefits. Tell me more, Laura. So that's where I'm going to jump to. So when you're going to use essential oils for emotional health, know that any scent can cause that. The thing is that we are being triggered in healthcare, or just in the community even, by scents. Scents are causing a lot of issues. Lots of places are scent free because chemicals in fragrance are very toxic. So rule number one is to not use crap oils and to not use garbage scents. You want to use something that's really, really pure. You want to use something that's going to be really beneficial to your body, but also to your emotions. Because yes, you can smell from something like Tide and know that it automatically is like clean, fresh clothes, and it brings you back to your childhood when your mom did your laundry for you, right? And so you feel comforted. That's for sure using your olfactory bulb and your olfactory nerve triggering your limbic system. It still happens. But the fact is that the chemicals in that are not great for you, and they actually affect how your brain functions and how your body functions. So let's avoid that. Use great oils. So make sure you're using really high quality oils that have third-party testing. The next thing you want to do is, of course, you want to get specific. I like to try to work, what am I working on? Rage, okay, anger, okay. Now how can I dive into that? What do I feel when I feel this way? What do I feel when I feel that way? How do I feel when that happens? Get deeper and deeper and deeper into your layers. And then you can use different tools to help to bring it out. But if you know that you want to work on something, that's when you can reach out to Monica or I, or the person that invited you to this video, and we can help you make kind of like a really wonderful emotional health plan to use some of the oils you have to kind of transition safely through these emotions. Another rule would be not to just I like to go to my oils and I like to just smell them. And whichever one I like the smell of, or the combination, is what I make in my diffuser blends, but not when I'm using it for a treatment. If I'm using it for something, like I know bergamot helps for feelings of self-worth. If I'm working on feelings of self-worth, I'm gonna use bergamot. If you don't like the smell of it, don't use something else. Use bergamot. Just because you don't like the smell of an oil, it doesn't mean that that oil is not a good one emotionally for you. Sometimes it means that it's triggering something that you're not ready to do. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you need to do some oils, know that your goal is maybe to feel better about yourself, but maybe smelling bergamot is repulsive to you. So what can you do to send more love to yourself in the meantime until you're ready to work on that actual issue? So how can you work through that? Then there's some oils that you smell that you're like, yes, I need to bathe in this. And those are oils that your body is ready to work through. Your body is like, yes, let's have more of this goodness. And then there's some oils that are just meh, because they're great. They're going to be great companion oils, but they're not the ones maybe. But don't necessarily choose it because, oh, I want this oil because it smells like this. As you're working through this, you will smell the oils differently. It's amazing. Some people have said to me, I really don't like the smell of Console. It smells disgusting. And then they go through a really traumatic experience and I say, here, here's a bottle of Console. Or go to your Console. And they say, oh no, I don't like it. Then they message me back and say, actually, I'm crazy about this oil right now. I don't understand why. And it's because at that point, your emotions need that. Your body knows this. Your neurons know this. It's science. It's science. So that's another rule, right? So don't just choose it because of how it smells. Choose it because you know what you're working on and you're willing to work on it, and use those oils kind of purposefully, I guess, when you're doing it. Another thing I want you to know is if you're doing this and you're not consistent in it, that's just like anything. Take an antibiotic, but only take it 2 times out of the 17 times. It's not going to be very helpful for you. It's the same thing when you're using oils for anything, but for sure emotionally. You need to work through this. You need to peel those layers back without it reclosing up. So if you're not going to peel these layers back and expose it and get the oil in on a regular basis to feed your body good things, and also do, positive thoughts and not letting negativity come in while you're working on yourself. Do those kinds of things. That's really important. And then I'm trying to think if there was any other points that I really wanted to say, but other than that, just make sure you're consistent and that you're giving yourself time to see the results. You need to make sure that you pour into yourself with good oils, for purpose, being willing to use the oils specifically, even if it kind of is a bit repulsive, then start back a couple steps and move your way forward. But then also be consistent with it and give yourself the time to see that happen and track it, journal, Maybe you want to post on your social media. Maybe you want to share your story. Maybe you want to check in with one of us. Tell us what you're feeling. That's what we're here for. But those are the ways that you use this wonderful olfactory system. And if you think about it, you might be thinking, how is this olfactory system affecting my limbic system? Let's just go back to that for a second. You know that it triggers it, right? You probably smelt something, smell apple pie, it brings you back to your mom. The sense of smell triggers your brain so quickly. Smelling nitrous oxide when you're at the dentist's office, it puts you to sleep in 10 seconds. It's a fast system, you guys. So using essential oils for a purposeful emotional result is going to be, again, very quick, but you need to retrain your brain to be willing to accept that, to be willing to heal, to peel back those layers, to repair these past systems, circumstances, results, right? This past cycles. You need to break the cycle and retrain your body to do it in a different way. So that's how it kind of works. You need to understand that there's this onion of healing, but as you peel it back and be consistent, you have the power to change how you feel every day. And it's of course something you have to stay consistent with, especially if you have mood issues, low mood, maybe self-hate, whatever it is that you're wanting to work through. It might be a lifelong journey, but you have these wonderful tools that are very inexpensive and very effective. So make sure to reach out to Monica or myself if you want maybe a plan, or if you want some more sciencey stuff. If you really want some links, I'm happy to show them to you. But thanks for hanging out with me for this whole long-winded version of why you love your olfactory system. Whether you can smell it or not, it does affect your limbic system, which is a really important part for feeling better every day.